Hey, it's your girl, Nycci Nellis, here on Industry Night, and I am so excited about today's show. I had the pleasure of talking first with Stephen Johnson. He is here with me at this Annex on 12th. That's where I'm doing today's show. It's this fabulous residence here in DC, and you're going to go all over the building with me, so you definitely want to tune in for that. But even better, my old friend Todd Thrasher joined me. Now, you know Todd. He's Tiki TNT and Potomac Distilling. He is Thrasher's Rum, and he has been a part of the mixology scene here in DC since the very beginning. I dare say he was one of the first. He was definitely the first speakeasy here in DC. It was called PX over in Alexandria. And he's got such an incredible memory and a rich history and such a good story. And trust me, as a business owner here in DC, Todd and I get into it. But the coolest thing that he is doing right now is he has created a special rum for the people who live just here at Annex on 12th in this fantastic speakeasy, The Vault. So follow me at NYCCINELLIS to see all the photos and videos. Of course, you can listen to Industry Night on YouTube and on your favorite podcast, but don't go anywhere and tune in right now. So I know it looks like I'm in a luxurious lobby of some posh new hotel here in DC. It's close. I am in a lobby, but I am not in a posh hotel. I am in a super luxurious new apartment complex here in the DC market. And I am sitting here with Stephen Johnson, who is going to tell us all about this new spot called Annex on 12th. Hi, Stephen.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you so much for hosting me here today. So, full disclosure, I've already had like a partial tour of this place, and I'm ready to pack my bags and move. But you have a history with this space, so tell us a little bit about it.
I do. So, I've been in property management for a while, specifically here in the DC area, and I saw this building getting renovated, and it was really special to me because I had a grandfather who worked here back in 1952 as an attorney.
Okay, and back then it was?
It was the Department of Agriculture's Cotton Annex building, which was used to standardize agricultural commodities like cotton and tobacco. It served a lot of other purposes over the past 90 years, and when I saw it being renovated, it was really special to me. I wanted to be a part of that. And
I mean, it's kind of cool, right? That like you had family who worked here.
So cool. I tell that story all the time.
I bet. Well, it's a good one. So let's talk about the work that they did here. Who did what here? And talk about what this residence has become.
Yeah, so it was actually two buildings. There was the 1936 build that faces the street where you can see the big Department of Agriculture sign.
Right.
They did a lot of different things in that building over the past 90 years, mainly standardizing agricultural commodities, but it served a lot of different purposes. This building that we're in right now, this is the warehouse side of that building. It was built back in the 1940s. I think during World War II, it had a lot of purpose that it was going to do with this building, but during the war, they had to stop production and ended up sitting vacant for a while. But now it's reused as one of our amenity spaces. This is our garden lounge where residents can lounge in the evenings,
right,
come and work from home during the day.
Right. For those of you who are listening to the podcast, you can either go to my Instagram account and see at NYCCINELLIS and see all this gorgeousness, or you can watch on YouTube and see what's happening. But go ahead.
Yeah. But the building was used in a lot of different ways. But nowadays, what we did was we took the original 1936 building, turned it into residences, and some of the parts of the building we reused towards amenity spaces, which is a big pull for a lot of people when they look for a new home, not just their apartment, but other spaces they can use in the building. This was turned into not only a garden lounge, co-working spaces, a very large fitness center, and then there's some additional higher level amenities like our Sky Lounge with our infinity pool, and then one space that we're definitely going to be checking out, which is our Speakeasy, which is on the 9th floor.
Right, when we talk to Todd Thrasher later in the show. So I'm just sort of curious, like, amenity spaces when it comes to residential living in an apartment. What's the change, right? Like when I look back, if you think of older buildings, the spaces are really large, but there's no amenities. There's no gyms. They may have pools in DC, but there's no spaces like what we're sitting in. Where was the shift in residential living that people were like, no, we want to give people spaces to grill and sit out? And I mean, there's so many places here that people can just be.
Yeah. I think it's what sets you aside as an apartment community. You're trying to build a community, places where you can engage with other residents, kind of expand your apartment past just those four walls and have more room to lounge in spaces like this, or make a connection in a space like our Speakeasy. It's things like that I think really set us aside. It's very unique. Not everybody has things like that.
Well, it is unique, and I'm sort of curious. Can we talk about who did the decor? Because it does not feel like the lobby of where I'm living. This really feels luxurious. You keep referring to the staff here. I don't think a lot of people think of hospitality and staff when they're living in a residence. So can we talk about the overall ethos of the place?
Absolutely. When you walk in the door, you probably get that feeling of a nice, luxurious 1930s hotel with the Art Deco finishes. You're greeted at the front desk right away by one of our staff members. We really want to give you that luxurious hotel feel. The designers were hotel designers. They're primarily known for designing hotels in New York. And we really wanted to call back to that 1930s Gatsby era Art Deco feel. From the front desk staff to our office staff, just, greeting residents and kind of just being here for anything that you need. That way you feel like you're being waited on by a team of individuals.
Yeah, I don't think people think about that when they're in a residential living space. Does that mean also that you do a lot of events or efforts to bring the community together?
We do. So one big thing that we love to do is host events where we can incorporate all of our residents. Before even the building was open, we hosted a nice large Christmas event here in the lounge. When we opened our Speakeasy, we did a soft opening just for residents where we did a Great Gatsby themed I think it was St. Patrick's Day party. Okay. But we do different things every month.
That sounds right for Todd Thrasher.
So at all of our resident events, we like to serve cocktails with our own spiced rum that was made with our partnership with Todd from Todd Thrasher's. It's a spiced rum called 1936, which is a callback to the original building, and it has our own art and decor on the bottle itself.
And every resident gets one, right?
Every resident gets a bottle of that as a moving gift when they move in.
So cute. So why partner with Todd Thrasher?
It's they're one of the closest businesses to us that we could partner with, and it kind of helps us be part of the neighborhood. They are literally our neighbors, just a few blocks away on the wharf. Our team, got together with them months ago, and it's been a flourishing relationship ever since.
Well, I love that. Okay. Last, before we wrap up, give me two things that are going on in this building that you're like, you have got to know this.
In the building?
Yes.
Okay. So we have one of the coolest amenity spaces, in my opinion, which is our Speakeasy, which you're going to be seeing in a second.
Yes.
Don't just focus on the decor itself, but the skylight, and also there's a historical piece that's in there as well. But the biggest thing is coming here and seeing the views from the rooftop it's unmatching. You got to check it out.
All right. Stephen Johnson, thank you so much. Thanks for hosting Industry Night today.
My pleasure. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. So we're still at the Annex on 12th, but we're in the vault. And this is an actual speakeasy that is in this residential building, and it is phenomenal. If you are watching on YouTube, you get to see all the good things behind me, but you can also check out my Instagram at NYCCINELLIS, and you'll see all the beauty that is happening here. So I am sitting with a sincerely old friend, Todd. Old. We're both old, but we look amazing. Todd Thrasher. We both came up in this industry together.
Yes.
I had just started the listareyounit.com right when I met you, when PX opened in Alexandria. So ladies and gentlemen, Todd Thrasher. But Todd, I'd love for you to give everybody just sort of your history a little bit, because we're going to work all the way up to Thrasher Spiced Rum, but you and I met in the early days of DC mixology. You were part of what put us on the map.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. It is amazing.
Yeah. So I guess my real bartending restaurant journey started at 405 8th Street Northwest at this little place called Cafe Atlantico.
Okay. I mean,
that's kind of, I was bartending before that, but just, bartending, not really.
But for those who don't know, that's
things.
Jose Andres,
Cafe
Atlantico.
Right, yeah. So there was a guy, and he is the same age as me, but he looks much older than me. His name was Jose Andres. It has always been like that. He's just
louder than you. That's
he's definitely louder than me. But he was the chef, and I was a bartender. And
wait, but did you start at the one on 18th Street?
No, I never worked there. We would go there to party.
Yes, exactly.
But no, never worked there. When that closed, I went down there and got a job. And so I worked there with Jose we worked together for about 4 years, and then he went off and kind of did his own thing before he came back to the group. But I worked for that company for about 7 years. And but Jose was there, and I would watch what Jose was doing, and he really loved what he was doing, especially back then. And it just kind of was like, made me love what I was doing more.
Well, and I think what's really important to know with Cafe Atlantico at that time is that he was not doing molecular gastronomy just yet.
There were bits and pieces in there.
Right.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't until the legit mini bar launched there on that second floor, right?
No, there was definitely some stuff going on before that.
Okay.
So I remember, this is going to age me out, like in 1999, there was a magazine called Food Arts Magazine.
Of course.
Michael Batterberry and his wife ran it, and one night they came in. And Jose obviously knew they were coming in, so, all stops. And I had a cocktail on the menu there called the Nuevo Mojito, which was using foam, right, which was nowhere in the scene back then. And then Michael Batterberry had the cocktail. Jose did all the food, and there was touches of molecular in there, like touches of like deconstruction, things like that, not full blown. But he fell in love with it, and that was the first time for me that I said, "Oh, I can do this as a career and do something new." And when the magazine came out, I'll never forget, it was a full page of my cocktail in 1999 in that magazine. And that's when I was like, oh, I can do this, but I can be like Jose, but with liquid.
Behind the bar.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was your inspiration moment.
Yeah, that was it.
What did you see? What did you hear? Where did you go where you were like, I can do this and open up a place?
Well, that's the thing. It didn't really exist,
right?
Because we opened...
Because I'm thinking like Milk and Honey, like those places.
Milk and Honey did exist, but I had never heard of it.
Okay.
So we opened PX in 2005, I think, maybe 2006. I don't remember what year it was back then.
I think it was a little earlier, but go ahead.
Yeah, maybe earlier, maybe 2004. Yeah. So I had never really been to a speakeasy or a blind pig or anything like that. Heard of them, obviously, read about them, but never went to any of them. So I just I had pictures of my grandfather when he was younger going to places like this. He's from Missouri, but he was in the Army, so he traveled. So I had pictures, and he would tell me stories about bars they would go to and things like that. So I'm like, when we walked into that space, the lady that was the landlord said to us, "This is great," because my partner at the time was Irish, and he wanted to open a fish and chips joint. But there was an upstairs to that, and so we didn't know there was an upstairs. But then the lady's like, "Do you want to see upstairs?" We're like, "Yeah, no, this is all we need." And she's like, "No, the upstairs comes with the building." And then I walked up the stairs, and it hit me. There was a picture that my father had from some day, New Year's Eve, back in the 70s or 80s, I don't know what, but he had a powder blue tuxedo on and a powder blue bow tie.
Okay.
And he was sitting,
was it roughly?
It was roughly. And he was sitting in the bar, and I have a picture of him sitting in that bar that was there. That's how the whole idea came about.
Wow.
And I went home and I dug around for that picture, and I'm like, and I called him and I said, "Where was this?" He's like, "That was taken upstairs at Scotland Yard. The guy used to run a poker game up there."
Isn't that crazy?
But it was already there, set up. And as a speakeasy, but it was definitely an illegal speakeasy because no one really knew it was there. So that's how the whole idea for PX came.
It just came to you like that.
Yeah.
But what about the intentional program, the bar program? Because like a speakeasy today means something very different than a speakeasy in the 20s. A speakeasy was a secret place where you could go and drink.
Right.
But now it's a place where you're going to have a drink experience. You're not just getting a rum and tonic.
Hold on. Can I make a rum and tonic real quick?
Did I forget that you were going to make a rum and tonic? I mean,
I don't have any measuring devices, so I'm just going to eyeball it.
I would assume at this point in time you know how to do
I'm
this, right?
I'm not good at it. Not good at all.
What rum are we drinking?
This is Thrasher's Green Spice Rum. So it's our white rum that we redistill. We vapor distill it like gin. And it's made with lemon verbena, lemon balm, lemongrass, spearmint, lime peels, and cardamom.
Ooh, God, it smells delicious. So it's healthy with all those botanicals,
Rum is
right?
the healthiest thing you can drink as long as you don't put things with sugar in it.
Okay, I'm for that. No Coke.
Yeah, well, we're
Coca-Cola.
We're putting tonic water today, so.
That's okay.
Thank
you.
Would you like a straw?
No, thank you.
Okay.
But thank you.
A stir.
It smells delicious. Okay, well, cheers.
Cheers.
It's always good to be with you.
Nice to see you.
So let's talk about the bar program and how did you convince your former partners, Michelle and Carl Armstrong, who were running Eve at the time, that a bar program could be successable?
Well, I don't think it took much convincing because I think they saw what was going on at Eve because we had, a very farm to table bar program going on at Eve at that point, and very successful. I think having the food critic from at the time from the Washington Post loved what we were doing with cocktails, and so I think it made it easy because people were coming to the bar to have cocktails and have food from Restaurant Eve because the food was amazing.
The food was delicious.
But then I think it made it easy when I told them, my vision in my mind that we can do this. And Virginia didn't love it. The state of Virginia didn't.
No, Virginia had to catch up. Virginia had to catch up
a little bit.
Okay.
But I think it was, just kind of like happened, and they were cool, we were cool, and it was kind of like I had that creative outlet for myself at Eve already. But
and what does that look like? So for people who we're in a world today where people expect to go into a restaurant and see a good cocktail menu.
It's almost you have to,
right? Or go into a bar and have a good cocktail menu. Geez, you can go to a wedding and there's the cocktail. So there's a whole understanding of how you were supposed to drink. So what did it look like then, and how has it grown for you?
It was definitely then harder for people to understand, like, that sometimes we didn't have every spirit possible. That was a big thing, especially at PX, because of the size and the tiny. That was a hard thing to get people convinced about. And then, having a crafted cocktail that had homemade ingredients, homemade bitters, and things like that. I think by the time we opened PX, the people in this area already kind of knew what I was doing. So I don't think it was that hard at PX. It was harder at Eve, I think.
That makes more sense. Plus, what I love about this area, Virginia, DC, and Maryland, it's an educated clientele. They're here for it. Hungry for it, thirsty for it, here for it. They're ready for that new experience.
For sure.
So as it levels up and as the scene widens, right? Like if we zoom out and we talk about more bar-centric places open, but also beer becomes a thing, right? So we have more breweries opening in the area, then we have distilleries opening in the area. So like the whole landscape of what's available in DC changes. And then there's this whole pendulum swing. Do you only keep liquors and beers that are local? Do you have both? You know what I'm saying?
That was a thing until COVID. Now, COVID, people don't think like that anymore.
No. But I think you can have a mix.
Yeah.
I don't think it has to be all or nothing.
Yes, I agree.
So at what point, where were you?
Everyone should carry Thrasher's rum.
Nationally. Internationally, it should be in Japan.
Maybe we don't have that yet.
So where did the switch come from you? Where were you like, I want to make my own rum? Where does that happen for you in your career?
So
where were you?
Where was I when that moment hit me? I was walking out of the wharf, and
were you working at Kaliwa?
No, was never a part of Kaliwa.
Okay, you weren't a part of it.
It wasn't Kaliwa. It wasn't even a thought at that point.
Okay.
This is before anything had opened down there, and Monty Hoffman had contacted me because he wanted me to open PX on the wharf, which PX was amazing for my ego. It fed my ego really great. It was terrible for making money because it was just too small.
Sure.
So we had a meeting, and we're at the meeting, And he's like, well, I have this other building that we were thinking about putting a distillery or something there. And that was at the moment in time where I was done with the restaurant business, kind of was like, I'm out. And I had a child at that point.
Right.
He was probably 5, 6 at that point. 2015 was the first meeting. So he was 4. And I came out of the meeting and I called my wife. I'm like, like we've been talking about doing a distillery. They have a space here. Rent obviously would be more expensive than moving to the country, right, and open a distillery. But they're like, we could do a bar too. And my whole idea was like, I want to get out of the bar business. I don't want to be there till 2:00 in the morning,
right?
Because I have a wife and I have a son. I want to be able to spend time with them. But that moment in time, it just hit me like, why don't we just do everything here under one space? We can still run a bar, which will make the distillery, hopefully more profitable, and give us time to really work on our craft of making rum, because the only rum I've made before was in my backyard with a 10-gallon copper pot still, right?
Okay.
And that was it. That's my idea at that point, 2015.
So if I remember correctly, you're a huge scuba guy, right? You love to scuba. So like, I think the islands, I think rum.
I mean, rum is my drink of choice.
Is that your drink of choice?
Yeah.
Okay. So what were you drinking out there that you were like, okay, here's what I can distill, here's what I can add, like this is how I can make this liquor different?
Well, I think remember how I said PX was really good for my ego.
Yes.
Like I've always had that feeling, if you're going to do something, you should try to do it better than everybody else.
Right.
If you're going to mop the floor, mop it better than everyone else. So I figured I'm going to make rum. There's rums out there I don't like. One of them have a pirate on it and things like that. We all know that one. And the reason I don't like it is because it's so full of sugar. And spice rum.
But wait, isn't rum made from sugar cane?
Yes.
Okay,
or molasses.
just checking.
But after distillation, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
So a lot of rum companies take rum, make rum, and then add sugar back into it. In wine, they call it chapelization, right? When they jump wine back into it. So I always felt like I could make something taste better for people that, and then moving into my 40s, right? Like, at that point, like make something healthier for people that do still, because a lot of people get older and they just stop drinking, right? For numerous amounts of reasons. But, a lot of people always say, oh, rum, it's just full of sugar. Like, I can't drink it. I mean, an ounce of rum has the same amount of calories as an ounce of vodka does. Exact. As long as you're not adding stuff to it.
Right.
Our rum is made from turbinado sugar, raw sugar, and molasses.
Okay.
Molasses is a probiotic. Once you ferment molasses, it becomes a supercharged probiotic. So rum, if you drink it straight, don't add tonic water tonic water if you're going to go to the jungles for malaria and things like that, or leg cramps. If you drink rum straight,
that's a quinine, right?
Yes, exactly. If you drink rum straight, it's actually the healthiest thing you can drink.
Which is why they drank it.
Correct.
Right? I mean, there is a history to rum.
Right. I mean,
actually.
Wayne Curtis wrote a great book, and I think it's called In a Bottle of Rum. I forget the name of it. Like, it's the history of rum, and it is one of the great, I mean, obviously I love reading books about spirits and things like that, but it's a great read and how rum started, and it's an easy read too.
So let's just talk about Tiki TNT. You stuck with the tiki drinks. You're running a bar. You got a distillery.
Still running a bar.
Talk about how 2015, 10 years later, congratulations, by the way, what that means today, what it looks like today.
It means a lot of work. It means a lot of the same amount of work. It's honestly just a lot harder running a bar. So we opened Tiki TNT December 5th, 2018.
Right.
A year and a half before COVID hit.
Right.
Running a bar post-COVID, running a restaurant post-COVID is a different story.
Why? Tell me.
Well, I think people got used to sitting at home getting money a lot. I mean, if you can sit at home and get money brought into you, it's why go to work?
Right.
It's hard. And do I blame people? No, because as I've gotten older, I don't want to work as hard as I used to, right? So that's one of the things. DC in particular, with the Initiative 82 search, with that rate, changing the rate of pay for everyone, it really hurt restaurants.
So can we talk about that a little bit? It's so confusing.
It's confusing to me.
Listen, we're both in the industry.
Yeah.
When I get a bill at the end of the night, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm like, just put another 20%. Like, it's confusing.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I really struggle with the Initiative 82, and for those of you who don't know, this is all about how much money staff makes at restaurants, whether it's minimum wage
Right.
or the initial wage.
Right. So most restaurants would get a tax tip credit.
Right.
So you pay someone a wage. I don't know what it was when we opened. Let's say $3. I don't remember what it was for a waiter or a bartender.
Right.
So you have to guarantee the waiter or bartender make minimum wage.
Of course.
That's a living wage.
I know, but for some reason, that part of the message is blown up.
Right.
And all people hear is, wait, they don't make minimum wage?
Right. Which is untrue. The restaurant or bar, if one night they make the equivalent of $5 an hour, let's say, the restaurant or bar, it's their responsibility to make up the rest of that payment to make sure they make minimum wage. That's the way it's always been.
Right.
It's always been that way. Post Initiative 82, they make, my wife handles all the bookkeeping, so I'm not exactly sure what it is right now, but so now they've raised there's no tax tip credit. They don't quite get minimum wage yet, but they get...
No, they're getting $10 an hour.
Right. So
the hope is, for people who are paying attention to what's going on out there in this industry, the mayor has come out with the new budget and has said she wants to repeal Initiative 82.
Which is supposed to take place any day now?
I don't know if they'll repeal it.
Yeah.
Because the council has to vote for it. But the hope is that it stays at $10 an hour. Because here's what I'd love for you to explain to people in the easiest way possible, because the math is hard, is, yes, who's giving more money for the increase in pay, right? So if you're making the same amount of money, and everybody who's working for you goes from making $3 to making $10, where is that money coming from?
It is there's a cap.
Of course.
To what you can charge people, especially for us.
Like how much can you charge for your drinks or for a bottle of rum?
Right, exactly. So what people don't understand also coming out of COVID is most wholesalers, wine, beer, liquor producers, wholesalers, everyone now has a service charge. Everyone puts a service charge on their invoice. So on the bottom of the invoice, let's take Southern Wine and Spirits.
Is it just bullshit? Is it just bullshit?
Because it wasn't like that before COVID. So before...
It's like when you get your phone bill.
Right.
And it's like a $2 surcharge.
Right.
You're like, for what?
It for? So Southern, they have a $15 delivery charge now. Every time they come to your building, it's $15. So that bottle of whiskey that I buy from Southern is not really what it says on the invoice, right? It's what it says on the invoice plus partial delivery fee. So now everybody has a delivery fee. Okay. Now we have to pay everyone more. And everyone looks at restaurant owners, oh my God, they're so rich, they make so much money, right? You've been around it, everyone knows. Am I starving? Absolutely not.
No, but you're hustling.
But I'm not, I'm hustling, right? I'm hustling. I know. And now it's just harder for restaurants to make money because I charge $16, I think all the cocktails on the menu at Tiki are $16. Everything.
Which, given your real estate, is pretty reasonable, I gotta be honest.
I agree. Not everyone agrees.
No, I'm sure. Well, it's who's coming to the wharf, right? Well, I mean, that's part of the... Right? So to me, I think the wharf, that's expensive. Right. Because it's expensive down there. It's expensive real estate. Right. So I know wherever I'm going, there is a premium added because of the real estate. Right. But I also know the industry, so I understand how it works.
And at the wharf, I think most people, I'm going to call out my landlord right now. Yeah. The parking is absolutely insane at the wharf.
I mean, they just screwed that. I mean, come on. They didn't make enough of it. Right. It's a pain. I mean, with the anthem there, I mean, you and I could have a whole other show about mistakes they made. Right. Like the cobblestones. I mean,
how many heels have you broken?
Are you serious?
Like walking in Old Town.
I mean, I'm like, who did this? Yeah. They did not have a woman on the board. That is clear.
Yeah. So the parking down there is expensive. So we want to keep our prices such that they don't feel like they're getting gouged. But it gets to be hard. At the end of the day where the profit margins are already thin in restaurants. And it's just with the price of employment. And I thought about going to order at the table, right? That gets rid of some employees, which puts money in the bottom line, which makes us like, the restaurant's been open almost 6 years. You know, you have to freshen it up, you have to spend money,
Oh,
you have air conditioning
to keep reinvesting.
So, you know, it's not like it's going into my pocket, right? You've got to reinvest into the restaurant. So it's just gotten harder in the last few years after, you know, COVID, whatever, you know. We're
still figuring it out.
We're still figuring it out.
Okay. I'd love to talk a little bit about the distillery a little bit more and talk about like what you're producing and what you're making. And then since we are here in the vault, let's talk about like...
I can't believe they never invited me up here to
I know. I feel like we're doing this wrong. I feel like you should be there in your old outfit with the things.
I wear shorts and flip-flops.
Right, I know. You know, you're going to dress up for me. But, you know, like I think of like the old bartender days. And you should be making me a cocktail, although you did make me a really good one. Yeah. So how many SKUs do you have? We have
4 regular SKUs. So we have the green spice rum, we have white, coconut and spice.
Okay.
And then we have gold every so often when we don't run out. Gold rum was...
Is that like the highest?
No, not even close. But gold rum, we use so much of it in the bar. So we make it and we use a lot of it in the bar. We don't really bottle that much. Prestige LeDroit is our
it's your
our distributor, so they do have some of it. So we make, those are the base ones. And then also after that, we make one called the Queen Share, which we're out of stock right now. So then we make aged coconut, aged spice. Which we usually release around.
So when you say aged, what are we aging it for?
Put in a barrel for a year.
Okay.
Yeah, in a used whiskey barrel usually. And then we have what we call relaxed rum, which is a rum that is at least aged 5 years now.
Okay.
So we have barrels. I don't know if have you ever been in the distillery to see how small it is?
I have been in your distillery.
Okay.
I got a tour when you opened. Are you kidding? I was there opening.
So we have barrels. We have about 90 barrels laid down, and they're in the distillery. They're in the other room. So now we're at the point where everything is at least 5 years old. So this one actually was aged 4.5 years. This was one that came from Catoctin Creek barrels, and it was their peach brandy barrels.
Cool.
So those guys out there, we love
the
friends.
Catoctin guys. Yes.
So they gave us. We have done barrel swaps with them. So this was one we released. I actually had this at home and had to bring it because we're out of relaxed rum right now. So this one we released at the beginning of the summer.
Amazing.
But yeah, we have all kinds of aged stuff. We have different types of barrels we age in. We have whiskey barrels. We have rye whiskey barrels. We have peach brandy barrels. We have new American oak barrels. We have quite a bit of stuff going on.
So what I hear from you is that you still love it.
I love it. I would like to now, what I'd really like to do is figure a way to, you said earlier, international, national. I would like to figure a way to scale up. So I'm looking for property, maybe in DC, maybe in southern Maryland, someplace where we could actually have a large parcel of land and do like, what I love is like going to brew pubs, and they're like farm brew pubs, and you can hang out there. I would like to do that with a distillery someplace. So we have more room to make more stuff and to become international or more national. Right now we're only in 7 states because we run out.
You can only make so much product in that space.
In that space, yeah. We're going to run out of rum in August, end of August.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so talk to me about your partnership here.
Yep.
And how often do you do this? Why here? And did they share their story? Because it's called Thrasher's 1936. Now that you've seen the space, it's pretty posh.
It's pretty amazing.
It's really nice. Yeah. Talk to me about the collaboration here.
So they came to me and they wanted to see if we could develop a rum to do specifically for them. The government doesn't work fast. So for us to develop a rum completely for them would be almost impossible. So what I did is I took our green spice rum and because of the ingredients, I just tweaked ingredients a little bit here and there. So made it different than our rum using the exact same ingredients but different proportions.
Gotcha. So it's really unique to the property.
It is the only place you can get that rum is at this property because the way the government, the TTB works, you have a list of ingredients, you can use those ingredients. So I had to stay within those ingredients. If not, it would take 6 to 7 months to get
something else approved.
Yeah, and then you have to get the label approved anyway. So their graphic designer did the label.
It's beautiful.
It's pretty great. And for the reason they contacted us, but geographically, we're so close.
Well,
We're like a 7-minute walk from there.
I'm curious on your take on this before we wrap up. I think what's really interesting when I think of like this residence and where they are and what they're doing, but just where people's heads are at today. I mean, yeah, they could have gone big, right? They could have picked like a name brand, that sounds fancy. But I love instead that they looked in their backyard and was like, no, we want to work with Todd Thrasher. Everybody knows Todd Thrasher.
I'm locally famous.
You are locally famous. I'm locally famous, dude. That's how that works. Listen, I was out once with my mom. She came down here and somebody walked by. I didn't know who it was. And they were like, Nycci Nellis, the list, are you on it? And my mom was like, who is that? I was like, I am famous, Mom. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's funny when you think about like that kind of stuff. Like, I've kind of pulled back from the day-to-day operations of the bar. Mm-hmm. So like, I'll be in there sometimes at night, and you'll get it like once in a while at night. But like, the cocktail scene in DC is it's evolving. Obviously, you got younger and things like that.
Like Sam Nellis.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
That's Silver Lion.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
No, listen, you and I could have gone on another tangent today because there was just too much to talk about because we haven't seen each other in so long. So I hope we can regroup at another time. And I would love to really dig in deep about where the cocktail scene is now and the expansion of it. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Well, come to Tiki TNT at 1130 Main Avenue, Southwest on the waterfront.
Wear wedges, don't wear heels.
Wear wedges, don't wear heels. And Uber, please. And I'm in the basement mostly, except I'm working lunch. I'm your lunchtime manager Tuesday through Friday now.
Oh my God, I'm coming for lunch.
If you want to see me, come for lunch.
Okay. Yeah. So thanks so much to Todd Thrasher for joining us today in the vault at the Annex on 12th.
Bye.
Well, I want to thank you all for joining me today on Industry Night. Talking with Todd Thrasher really just brought a whole bunch of memories to me, and he and I could have gone down so many different roads because we have both been around the DC dining scene for so long and watched its ebb and flow and its pendulum swings, and I'm so glad I had that time with him today. Of course, I'm also really grateful to Stephen Johnson and the team here at the Annex on 12th for hosting the show in their super posh, beautiful property. I mean, I love where I live and I love my house, but I could totally see living here. So I want to thank you all again for joining me today. Don't forget, you can hear this show on all your favorite podcast platforms. Check it out on YouTube. There's lots of great shorts on there, so always click like, subscribe, do all the things, and follow me at NYCCINELLIS on all the platforms, but especially Instagram, because that's where I hang out the most. So I want to thank you all again for joining me. Be safe out there and have a delicious week.
Produced by Heartcast Media.